I'm Vicki Davis, Martin County Supervisor of Elections. Thank you for joining us for Project Vote History. Local residents reflect on memories they have gained over the years regarding public service, the election process, and the importance of voting. Joining me today is John Leighton. John, your family goes back many generations here in Martin County, and I knew your grandfather well. He was one of my favorite people, Jock,
good. Sure.
And your grandma, Zena. And I know that you rode around with Jock in his pickup truck for
El Camino.
El Camino, that's
Sure.
what it was, that's
Yeah.
right. And he would take you around the community and mentor you.
Yes.
And was a great influence on your life. And I'm sure he had to be an influence when it came to voting as well.
Oh, without a doubt. Sure. He really took me under his wing and showed me how important community service was and to give back because his whole life he was very involved in the community, both business-wise and from a community perspective. So it resonated with me what he did throughout the community.
Yes, he was quite the character.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
I think that's a good term.
Yes. And then your great uncle Charlie Leighton, we have a park named for
Sure.
Charlie. He served on the Board of County Commissioners from 1950 to 1962.
That's
he
correct.
served for 12 years.
Yeah.
And any lessons that you picked up from either of them about public service?
Well, not necessarily from my great uncle, but certainly from my grandfather. There's no doubt about that. It was his life was impactful to me.
Yes.
And others too.
Yes.
When I now travel through the community doing my work, I often hear of fantastic stories that have come out of some of his work and what he did for this community. So I'm very grateful to be a part of that, quite
Yes.
frankly.
Yes, and you have been very active in the community as well as your brother and his wife Kelly now
Sure.
serves as a city commissioner.
Right.
So I know that it does go back to roots, and it's so important to carry that heritage and legacy on into the future. And I know that you and Laura have a daughter, 25, Shelby.
Right.
And she's registered to vote and participates in the process. And if you were to share any type of wisdom with our youth, what would you say to them to stress the importance of being registered to vote and giving back?
Sure. Well, I think it's a duty to be involved in the community, both politically and then from a service perspective, donating your time to boards and what have you, which I have done. And our daughter learned that at an early age. She registered when she was very young, 18, and actually went on to get a political science degree. And in furtherance of that, she spent some time in Washington, D.C. As an intern for Tom Rooney, and that was a really great experience for her. She really learned the inner workings of our federal government.
Sure.
So that experience, I think, was very impactful for her life.
Absolutely. Centered around the Constitution and foundation of our nation, and
that's right.
Wonderful.
It's a cornerstone of
Yes.
our whole political system, and so the youth really need to get involved as early as they can. It's their community. They need to give back to their community and work with everybody. So I just can't stress enough that they need to get involved early on.
Yes. Well, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for sharing
thank you.
your grandpa with
Thank
me
you.
and
Right.
the impact that he made on my life personally. He was a wonderful person.
Well, that's great. Well, thank
Yes.
you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm Vicki Davis. Thanks for joining us for an episode of Project Vote History.